Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Mama Jojo Raw and Real. And on my channel, I talk about my personal weight loss journey. What I am doing, I'm an advanced faster right now. I fast a lot right now. I am on a 21-day water fast journey, after which I will go to a 90-day Daniel fast journey. So watch the space for my results and just watch for the update about how I feel. And I also talk about finances and budgeting, and then I talk about world cultures, right? You know how sometimes people come from vacations and tell you about all of the different attractions and all the different foods and the people, and you really have a feel for a certain country. And that's what I want to bring to you. Like, I will come in, for example, I'm from Liberia, and I'm acclimated with most of the cultures in Western Africa. So I'll be bringing those cultures to you, the people, the food, the experiences. So if you decide, like, I'm going to this country today, you can come here and have an idea of what to expect. So that's what I'll be doing. So for today's video, I've been doing a series on fasting. So if you go back to my previous videos, I've been focusing on one topic, so I want to finish up and then move on to gut health. So that's a topic to watch for, and then you will know, because our gut is the second brain, and I will tell you everything I know about the gut. By the way, I have my diploma in intermittent fasting, in gut health, vegan nutrition health, nutrition. I have them all, and I will just put the links of everything that I have been certified in, so you can know that I have some level of authority to talk on this topic, right? So I'm going to talk about the first myth of intermittent fasting. The first myth of intermittent fasting is that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Yes, I used to believe that, and maybe you're watching me, you believe it as well as an adult, because that's what has been floating around for decades, and this message has been promoted by dietitians and nutritionists around the world for decades. But let's face it, you fast and I fast. Everyone in their life fasts, and let me show you how. When you go to sleep at night and you're not eating, you are fasting. So now, breakfast means break the fast, right? Breakfast means break the fast. And the myth is, what we have been taught all along is that breakfast should be at a certain time at 8 o'clock in the morning. And most people around the world eat their breakfast at between 8 o'clock, or they stop and get a coffee at 8 o'clock. And there is nothing wrong with that. But we subjects like us that follow the intermittent fasting method, for me, my breakfast every day, if I'm not water fasting, if I'm not on the warrior method of fasting, I will do my breakfast at 1 p.m. at my lunchtime. And let me throw in some little help tips there to save you money. What I do is I go to the grocery store when I'm not water fasting. I go to the grocery store on Sunday and I buy the frozen fruits, and I buy everything, and I throw it in the refrigerator at work. And this way is money savings. I save a lot of money for me, because where the restaurants and the delis and the fast food joints around where I work, for a really good breakfast lunch, you look at spending like $12, $13, $8 a day. And if you do $8 times 5, that's $40 a week just on breakfast. And if you're someone who stops at like Starbucks or one of these Panera Bread to get breakfast, and then you get lunch, guess what? You're working for food, man. You have to stop that. So what I do is I go in and I buy all my fruits. Like, I'll wash the coupons, and I'll buy my frozen fruits and my frozen vegetables as well. So usually I will spend, like, if I buy 5, I will spend like $15 on it. And then I will get my bananas and I will chop them up. I will get my kale. I will get my celery. I'll get my kale. I'll get my spinach. I'll get my arugula. I will put them in little bags and I chunk them in the freezer at work. So when it's time for me to start my breakfast at 1 o'clock, I took a blender to my office in the kitchen. I just take that and put that in the blender, and I blend it, and I have my breakfast, and I'm cool. So that's just one tip. So now back to the topic. Breakfast is not the most important meal of the day, because breakfast is when you break your fast. And it is unfair to tell someone when to eat the first meal of the day. So if breakfast was the most important meal of the day, they need to look at subjects like us, because there are numerous studies out there that have shown that people who eat breakfast a day in the morning early in the morning, lose weight. But here is the thing. Let me trigger your mind. It's not about when you eat your breakfast or what you do. It's about the number of calories you eat in a day. So I may eat a breakfast. I may eat like 3-4 McDonald's menu breakfast, right? And I will still gain weight because it's not about when. Even though intermittent fasting believes that when you fast, we believe that when you fast, you're getting your body close to ketosis and your body is working on your metabolism is still in fact. But all in all, it's the number of calories you eat a day. So let's get that straight. So when I think about breakfast being the most important meal of the day, guess what? I look at it in a capitalistic society like America, it's all about greed. It is all about greed. When you hear about breakfast, what do you hear? You think about the fancy cereal in the fancy boxes. You think about the waffles. You think about the muffins. You think about the bagels, right? It's all commercialization, and this is what it is. In as much as we have, it's all connected. You know how you have the chain. In as much as the medical industry is partners with the pharmaceutical company. So similarly, the nutritionists, the dietitians, they are all partners with that breakfast industry because they send this message all along. Everybody like, oh, I have to have my breakfast. But when you think about it, it's all cereal. And guess what? For the most part, breakfast is corn and sugar. Corn and sugar. I'm afraid of sugar. I used to eat a lot of sugar. When you know better, you do better. Breakfast is a lot of corn and sugar mixed together with some artificial flavors, and they put some additives in there to extend the shelving life. And they put it in a fancy box and we go and buy it. So it's all about greed. And they make us to believe that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But breakfast is when you decide as an individual to have your first meal of the day. So if you're having your breakfast at 8 o'clock, there is nothing wrong with it because that's what works for you. But for we that do intermittent fasting, we for the most part have our breakfast after 16 hours when we get up from bed, right? So there are studies out there that has proven that the people who eat breakfast, as I said, lose weight. But there also needs to be a study for people that do intermittent fasting, and we should do a quantitative research design to determine the subjects. We shouldn't have a placebo here. We should have live subjects and have one group that eat breakfast and have one group that does the intermittent fasting and gather that data and then do an analysis and see. Because to me, I think it's unfair, yes, to say breakfast for that group who believe that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But then what's about us subjects that eat our breakfast at 1 o'clock and eat 3 meals a day? It's all not about when, how, right? It's all about the caloric content. So that study has to go out there. All in all, breakfast is not the most important meal of the day, as people say, because the time that you choose to eat your breakfast is what works for you. So this is what is all about capitalism. People will market things, and this belief has floated over decades and centuries that we should have our breakfast at a certain time. No, number one, I'm leaving you right now. Number one, breakfast is when you get up from bed and decide to have your first meal of the day. So if you've been thinking, is intermittent fasting for me? Yes, it's for you because you fast. When you go to bed, you fast. When you are asleep, you fast. So what we're saying is we will believe in the school of thought of intermittent fasting is, okay, if you've been having your breakfast at 8 o'clock, just extend it to 12 o'clock and just see the effect of it, But we shouldn't believe that, I have to have my breakfast, because come to think about it, the shelving life of all of those cereal, guess what? If you went to the grocery store right now and bought some fruits, you have to consume it for within 3 to 4 days or it will go bad. But look at the cereal. Some of the cereal, they have those additives in there that extend the shelving life. You can keep some of them for 1 to 2 years. That's a huge profit margin. So please don't believe that myth. Breakfast is not the most important meal of the day. I'm not a doctor. However, as I always say in all my videos, before you start any fasting journey, to please seek medical attention and get the approval of your doctor. I do have my diplomas in all of these things, but I would never tell you not to see your primary healthcare provider because I am not licensed. I did not go to school for those many years, and I'm not going to deceive anyone into believing that, oh, you can do this, you can do that. No, that's unfair. So I'll see you guys. I'm on my way to church. And if you like what you hear, if you like my channel, please hit the subscribe button. Please share this, and I'll come back watch out for the next 5 series where I'll be doing the last 5 myths about breakfast, and then we're going to move out to the gut health. So if you've been having some little pet belly, and your stomach is big, and you're thinking about, some people think about doing surgery, there is nothing wrong with that. Or you're thinking about, taking care of it, and you already worry about what your stomach looks like, watch out. I'm going to talk about all of the factors and all of the methods that I have used to have flat stomach naturally, and maybe some of those will apply to you as well. So I love you. Thanks for watching. Please come back again. Please hit the subscribe button. Mama Jojo, raw and real. Thank you.